Hey guys! Long time no see. Welcome back to your Kib related video. This time, we're looking at quite possibly the best competitor for the Akko Alice Plus. All the cons I said about the Alice Plus are fixed here. What Kib is this? It's the FancyAlice66. Let's open it all up and look at what comes in the box. Opening the quite simple black and gold box, we could see the south-facing, BIA-compatible, Arisu-style PCB itself, wrapped for safety. Next up is the gaskets that will be applying to the plate. The acrylic case is up next, and housed within it is the palm plate, some screws, as well as the plate foam and PE film. And lastly, we could see the acrylic for the feet. Weirdly enough though, there's a lack of Type-C cables, stabs, or even screwdrivers to open up the board. But I think FancyTech assumed that this keyboard is for the budget enthusiast who already owns those things. Still though, it would be a nice gesture to just include the Type-C cable in the box. Before building this, let's discuss the specs of the keyboard. It's a stacked acrylic keyboard with 5 layers for the case and 3 for the feet. Mine is a black transparent and bare bones model, but you can also buy this in frosted white, transparent, and your choice of KTT wine red switches. The PCB is 3 to 5 pin hot swap and south facing. It incorporates a 65% Arisu style layout without the extra B key. This is also coupled with 3 knob clusters on the right. It's BIA compatible, but you need to drag and drop the JSON file. And lastly, the Type-C is located in the middle. The plate is made out of palm and is in between the 2 acrylic layers, being gasket mounted with the included gasket strips. Stabs are not included, but you can opt for screw-ins, clip-ins, or plate mounts, though FancyTech does not recommend plate mount stabs for this configuration. Finally, it has perky RGB on all switches, as well as on the back. With that out of the way, let's build this keyboard. I have to admit, it's quite hard building this, but not as hard as the MW65 Lite. We first need to peel up the paper on the acrylic on both sides on every layer. As you might have thought, this is a long process, so let's speed this up a bit. Next up, we need to add the keyboard feet by securing the 3 screws in the middle. Once that's done, we could now proceed to stacking up the acrylic layers by screwing the stand first on the sides. Now, we could stack the 2 layers of acrylic. I did multiple mistakes on this, but once it's up, we could now proceed to prepare for the PCB and palm plate. I gently added the gasket strips on both sides of the palm plate. I haven't had much experience in using palm plates, but I heard it should give a nice, deep and poppy sound. For this build, I'll be salvaging parts from my Akko Alice Plus and my Ultom 680. I used the lube Akko stabs from my ACR Pro to this, as this supports screw-ins as well. I then proceeded to add the last 2 pieces, and it was difficult, as it was not aligning the acrylic layers. In some amount of time though, I finally fixed it, and it's time for the best part, mounting the keycaps. Finally, here's the FancyAlice66. Though the build experience was rough, I think the keyboard looks so nice in its all black transparent housing. It's quite deep sounding with a palm plate and Gateron black side mounted. There is also ample bounce on the board, as there is room inside for it to bounce, unlike other acrylic boards. And the south facing and BIA compatibility is a nice touch. On to my cons. I've discussed it earlier, but I wish the build experience was much easier. I also wish for FancyTech to include accessories in the box. The problem is, for the price they're targeting, the accessories is a no-go. Speaking of the price, this retails at 5,000 pesos or $120 without switches, keycaps, or stabs. And in the market, where the Akko Alice Plus is relevant, I think this can stand on its own as a good alternative to the Alice Plus. Keep in mind though, that the Alice Plus did come with an extra PC plate, switches, stabs, and keycaps. But the FancyTech excludes that in favor of a south-facing PCB and VIA compatibility. Whether that is a deal maker or a deal breaker to you is up to you. For me, I'd rather buy this if I already have the desired switch and caps per my build. Otherwise, the Alice Plus is still a nice deal. I'll try to review this more in the future as I only had this for a week. What are your thoughts on the FancyAlice66? Would you sacrifice value for money for a south-facing PCB and VIA compatibility? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Once again, I'm John J. Villanueva, and I'll see you in the next video.